Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and today I will be doing something amazing. I will be recapping Third Life Season 1. So I'm gonna recap episode by episode, so I'm just gonna start right now, and this video this part of the video will be episode 1.
Welcome to Third Life, an experimental Minecraft hardcore mini-series with a twist. I'm joined by 13 other Minecrafters, and all of us have 3 lives. On our first life, we have a green name, and all we have to do is survive in a very small Minecraft world and have some fun. When we die, our name will change to yellow. Now this is okay, but we're in hot water, because if we die again, we will be on our third life. Now this is where it gets interesting, because if you're on your third life, your name turns red, and your goal changes. You then become hostile and have to take out everyone else's lives on the server. And if you die in your third life, you enter spectator mode, and the series is over for you. This is going to be a lot of fun, so let's jump in.
Episode 1. So in episode 1, basically we start with everyone getting resources and forming bands. Now, I should first say that this series will be mostly focused on Grian and Scar because they're my favorites in the series and I think they're the funniest. But I will also add details from other YouTubers. So the series starts with Scar being alone, Zombie Cleo, Impulse, and B-Dubs making a party because they found the music disc, and the party going wrong because a bunch of phantoms get in there. After everything, after a while, all of the third lifers decide they want to leave the party because it's been a long time without them being able to leave because of night, and they have limited time to work. So they all went outside and attacked the phantoms. Nothing very interesting happened except that Zombie Cleo almost died inside of a tree because she was standing on a sapling and the tree grew immediately, so that was kind of funny. So then Zombie Cleo, B-Dubs, Impulse, and for some reason Scar went to a village because they wanted villagers. They get there and they see that Etho and Tango had found dark oak, so they asked them that if they could share, so that everyone could have dark oak, but they didn't want to, and they said it was a monumental tree and no one was cutting it down. So right at that moment, Grian had come. By the way, Grian had come before, and he had taken a bunch of villagers for himself. Well, Grian came, and Scar tells Grian to please give him a flint and steel. Grian does, and then goes to Etho and Impulse that he has a bunch of villagers. And so they go together and they see the villagers. Meanwhile, Scar burns down the tree. This wasn't Grian's plan, but it worked good for Scar. Then they were all meeting then Scar and Grian went off on a business proposition to mine all of the sand, which Grian obviously denied, and they all went back to the village where word had gotten around that Grian had villagers, and they were planning on buying the villagers from him. So they offered him the greatest currency in Third Life, a bunch of pocket junk, and he accepted so that everyone could share the villagers. And they did. So everyone started working on the villagers, and they were all talking around, like they were in a circle talking, and because InTheLittleWood had just came and scared them. And then Grian tried to lure a creeper to scare everyone like InTheLittleWood did, but he ended up killing Scar with the creeper. So he felt really bad and became Scar's slave. So that was basically the end of episode 1. Also, I forgot to tell you, but after that, Grian and Scar also decided to take over all of the Dark Oak because they had found a tiny forest of Dark Oak and suspected that that was the only forest, so they took over all of it. Episode 2. This episode is so fun. It basically starts with Scar chasing a bunny because he was hungry. Grian went mining. Scar stole a bunch of clothes, like everyone's armor. Someone told that someone told the Monopoly Mountain, that's how it's called, that Pizza, their pet, was there. And yeah, episode 2 did nothing really important happened. So yeah, that's the end of episode 2. Also, somehow Pizza went missing. And the person who stole Pizza said that they killed Pizza, but then someone else told the Monopoly Mountain that they had actually seen Pizza alive. Episode 3. So Grian is looking for cows because there are no cows in the world. They also have a task to go and search for Pizza because they thought that Pizza died, but it said Pizza lives. Zombie Cleo did a Scar and stole Monopoly's Mountain's clothes as revenge because they had taken her chest plate before. She was actually the one who took Pizza, and that made the Monopoly Mountain have a grudge against the Crastle. The Crastle is Zombie Cleo's team. Extra details from episode 2. Ren didn't want to trade with Scar, so he told him that they were now enemies. Very important fact: Scar loses his second life trying to kill Zombie Cleo with an Enderman. And that's basically the end of episode 3. So now episode 3 starts with Grian going around and asking Schizoman, "Hey, wanna help us do a trap?" "Oh, cool, against who?" "Rendog." And then Schizoman is like, "No, we can't do that." So then the same thing happens with Etho, and Grian and Scar are just like, "Hey, that's not fair. Rendog has too many people helping him." So they basically go to his base, take the enchantment table they had stolen before, and then, or an enchantment table, then go to his base, and while Scar distracts him, Grian builds a trap that is instant death. Then they leave, and Rendog mines the enchantment table. The trap doesn't work and no one dies. So then they start disarming it, and someone touches the TNT minecart, and everyone in 3 people die, and they get even 2 people to the red name, which means there are even more people that now are against Scar. Then Rendo goes to complain because his stuff also died, and Scar pushes him off a cliff and almost takes his second life as well. Then Rendo goes running, and Scar and Grian basically go say sorry to one of the people they killed because that person was just caught in the crossfire. And then they basically get an alliance with that person. I'm pretty sure it was... Well, I don't completely remember. The name is in the screen right now. And that's basic. And then finally Grian builds a creeper farm. Also, Grian gets pufferfish. Episode 5. The episode starts with Grian and Scar going into the nether so that they can get some netherite. They get 2 netherite swords, each one for 1 netherite sword per person, and come back with items to make a trap. They decide they want to make a water elevator in the castle to kill one of them when they use it. So they go into the castle and build a water elevator. Zombie Cleo doesn't trust them, but B-dubs do. Then they use Etho. They make Etho make a TNT cannon so that everyone goes back into the castle, and B-dubs actually uses the water elevator, and there was lava on top. So B-dubs ends up dying and losing his second life. Then they ask Etho if he wants to help attack the red dogwarts or the red winter. Oh, by the way, in this episode, InTheLittleWood killed Rendog because Rendog told InTheLittleWood to kill him with an axe, saying Red Winter is coming, because it was basically like war is coming. So they offer Etho a chance to attack Rendog, and he's like, no, I don't want to do that. So they go to Schizoman's base and steal his banner. And then everyone attacks Etho, Schizoman. InTheLittleWood and Rendog all attack Grian and Scar. So they go back into the desert, and they end up killing Pizza in the war. And they were actually aiming at Pizza instead of Scar and Grian. And then Rendog also declared war on Monopoly Mountain. So that's basically the end of this episode. Episode 5. So in this episode, a lot of things happened. Scar burns down Etho's base. He became friends with the Krasl somehow. Tango joined the group. Their original friends, I think it's Solidarity and Smajor. They both actually had become friends, like in the last episode, because no, 2 episodes ago, because the dogwarts had attacked them, kind of, so they became friends. So yeah, they destroyed their last base in an attack. The first war happened. There was like a dog. They killed Etho, so Dogwarts came to get his stuff. Then they all started shooting. Then Grian and his team went to Dogwarts to siege Dogwarts, and they failed miserably. Then Grian went back to his base, and made a bunker. So yeah, that's basically all that happened in this episode. Episode 6. Nothing interesting happens. Episode 7. In this episode, it started with Grian making his bunker a trap that basically killed everyone in there, or supposedly did that. By the way, this season Grian's traps are very bad. So it actually works, and there is a battle between the Red Desert, because that's how they're called now, and Dogwarts. But the TNT trap works bad and doesn't kill anyone. And then they had a lava moat, and it only killed Grian. Then you couldn't see it on Grian's footage, but one of the hobbits died, and Scar escaped, and Ren and Dogwarts won the battle and filled the desert with their traps. So basically, it was like they had won that battle. Then they tried to do a siege on Dogwarts, and I'm pretty sure they killed someone. I think it was InTheLittleWood. Oh yeah, they had killed him before, but I think they killed him again, and they also killed Impulse. Then they trapped the Krasl, which didn't work. So they went in. The Krasl never found out about the trap, so they like kind of became friends. Everyone was inside the Krasl, and Dogwarts attacked the Krasl, so everyone was defending there. Then Schizoman came into the trap, another trap that Grian had made, and it didn't work. So he got up the stairs and got killed by the Krasl team, which consists of Etho, Impulse, Grian, Etho, Impulse, and B-Dubs, because Zombie Cleo died, and also by the Red Desert, which consists of Smajor, Grian, and Scar. And that's basically the end of the episode. Episode 8, also aka the finale. So this episode was really fun. It basically starts with the Red Desert losing hope. They'd have nothing. Smajor dies. Like every single person dies except for Tango, Impulse, B-Dubs, Scar, and Grian. So it was 5 against like 7. So they tried to trap the Nether portal, but somehow it didn't work. Impulse was very suspicious and it looked like he was like a bad guy. And then Grian created a base, a sky base, and that made Etho the greatest, the coolest move ever. He basically scaffolded up like until world limit, then shot himself with an arrow of slow falling, started falling, and shot Scar midair, which was amazing. That was like one of my favorite parts of the video. So then, um, like then they go and like they regroup with their friends, with their team, and then they see that the people of Dogwarts are all getting back into Dogwarts. So basically, the Red Deserts go back up to their castle, and they Scar and Grian decide to betray everyone and just show their true alliances to each other and pizza, because apparently that's what they cared about the most, just pizza. So the pet pizza. So basically they went down, they killed Tango, so he died. They killed Impulse once so it got him to his red life. They killed Big B, so it got him to his red life. They killed Ren. They killed InTheLittleWood, and so basically there were only 4 people remaining in the series: Grian, Scar, Big B, and Impulse, and B-Dubs. So Scar gives. Oh, and it's 5 people. Sorry. So Impulse B-Dubs is afraid that he's gonna get killed, so he goes back to. So he goes back to the castle, and Grian gives him and Scar gives him a clock, and so basically B-Dubs becomes Scar's servant. Then B-Dubs kills Impulse, he kills Big B, and then Scar betrays Grian and kills Grian. Grian gets his backup loot, goes back to where Scar and B-Dubs were. He kills B-Dubs, and then Scar decides that all of the help that Grian gave him in the series, he was just gonna let Grian win. But he didn't want to win that way, so basically he decided that both of them won because they were a team from day one. And the series ended with Grian killing Scar at the end in a feast battle. But the real winner was Scar and Grian. So that's the recap. I will be doing recaps like this of Third Life. So basically, the next one will be all centered around Rendog instead of Grian. And thanks for watching the video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed.